Hi everyone, I'm your host, Analia Pucciarella, and you're listening to Brightly Becoming, a podcast I created with the goal that anyone who listened could feel a little more seen and heard no matter what season of life they're in. Becoming who you're called to be isn't easy, and it's a little messy, so let's navigate the beautiful process of becoming together. Hi you guys, I hope you're having an incredible day. I want to be honest and come on here and say that this past week, grief has just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I've been going through a lot of different emotions this week. I mentioned this is going to be a little bit of a different episode, I think. I don't necessarily have a structure or any way that I really want this to go. I'm just going to pray that God reveals to me what He wants me to talk about. And the biggest thing on my heart right now is loss and change. As some of you may know, depending on if this is, isn't your first time listening to this podcast before, I did lose my grandma this year, and it is truly one of the hardest losses in my life. She was my best friend, and I'm not gonna cry. Yeah. She was truly my best friend, and there has been so much change going on in my life, change that I wish I could share with her, change that I wish I could show her, because I know that she would be beaming with light. She'd be over the moon for me. And I think it's really hit me more this past week, even though it's been a couple months now, because, a little bit of a backstory. When I grew up, I would spend summers in a beach town, and my grandparents had this place that we'd all be able to gather to. My extended family, my cousins from different states, all of us. And we gather there every summer. And it was one of my favorite traditions that I've had in my life thus far. And, one day I'll be able to look back and smile instead of feel sad right now about it. But the memories are just unexplainable. It's one of those things. It's like you had to be there, but no, really, just how special my grandma made those times. And anyways, we decided that, now that she's gone and she's no longer here, that we are going to put an end to that tradition. And they decided to sell the house. And so that has been, she's gone, but that has been grief in itself for me this week, because all the other change that's happening in my life, whether that's exciting change or scary or a little bit of both, it's still a lot at once. It really is. And it's been a lot for me to process, a lot for me to digest. And I think my family is taking it really hard. She was truly the heart and soul of that place, and she made those memories so special, both her and my pop-pop. But, yeah. So when we talk about change, right? Change is hard. It's not easy. And it's God opening these doors for us that feel they've been locked forever, and we're just now being given the key. But I think what's so special about that is there's always the right time. There's always His perfect timing. And it doesn't always make sense. Maybe it never will. But it's something that we cannot even come close to comprehending in the way that God can. And I've sat with this, and I've realized that looking back, which I try not to do, but looking back, I realized why certain doors were closed and why certain things happened the way they did and played out. And I remember in those exact moments, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to understand this one day. I am going to get this one day. And, now I do. And that's really special because it helps me appreciate the little moments more. I think what I'm trying to say is change itself can be so exciting, but it can be really difficult to take everything that you're used to and practically just flip it upside down. Get used to that new lifestyle, those new people in your lives. And everything feels unsafe until our body has grown accustomed to it, right? Those people, that environment, that job. I'm kind of at the beginning stages, which is funny because we're all becoming, right? But I'm kind of at those beginning stages of just trying to acclimate to all this change. I kid you not, when the timing is right and when it's his perfect time, he will do it. Like this last week, other than, the grieving, I've had so many incredible opportunities and so many incredible doors open for me that I never thought existed. I could have never imagined where I'd be right now, honestly. And it just makes sense. I'm in this stage where I'm having a little bit of imposter syndrome. But then I have to remind myself, God brought me here. God's going to bring me through this. And He's with me. And that's really special to know that I'm not alone in this life transition. Because when you combine grief and you combine it with large life transitions, or maybe just one, it doesn't matter. It's going to hit you harder. It's going to hit you harder. And if you're anything like me, I tend to be someone that avoids a lot. And I think I was doing everything in my power when she did first pass away. I think I did everything in my power to distract myself and deny. It didn't feel real. It still doesn't. I think maybe it is starting to now. Just remembering the state that I was in when she left this earth. I do wish I was in a bit of a healthier state so I could have been more present in those final moments. But I know that God played everything out the way that it was supposed to be. I know that she's smiling down on me and the rest of my family and is so proud of me and everything I've accomplished. And this is getting a little personal. But yeah, if you're grieving right now, I see you, I hear you, and I entirely understand. Even if it's not grieving a person, grieving a memory, grieving an environment. Maybe you just moved states. Maybe you just got a new job like I did. Maybe you just found a new group of friends and you're just acclimating to that environment. I think these beginning stages are so beautiful because I know I'll look back and see all of my growth and see how I felt like an imposter while training for my job, or I felt like I wasn't cut out for this. When in reality, it's just quite the opposite, right? If God brought you to something, He's going to bring you through it. He doesn't just abandon you. He doesn't just let you go right then and there. It doesn't work like that. I think it would be totally the opposite of human if we didn't allow ourselves to feel these strong feelings. And grief has a really funny way of hitting people. It really does. Some days you're okay, and then something reminds you of that person, and you're just taken back in time. I treasure all those memories that were in that house, and this truly feels like a goodbye that is just so hard because I had some of my best childhood memories in that house, and the foundation of that house is now no longer on this earth either. She's in heaven, and yeah, it's just been a really hard week. I'm trying to do the things I love and remind myself that God's going to get me through this. But it's not easy, and not every day is going to be easy. Not every day is going to be one where we feel grateful or excited about things, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to beat ourselves up. I think what I'm learning is that there are no bad emotions, and that every emotion is okay to feel, and you're human, and you're allowed to feel this way, right? Those memories are never gone, and they will forever reside in the back of my head. More so lately, they've been on the front of my brain. But I know that one day, if I'm blessed to have a family of my own, that I will create my own traditions in memory of her, because it was truly such a blessing to grow up the way that I did. She just made every day of life special. So just a reminder that it's okay to miss some memories. It's okay to miss those things. Just try not to dwell on them for too long, right? Unfortunately or fortunately, life does go on. And it can be really hard when you feel like you're leaving pieces of you behind. But just know that God is calling you to be who you're supposed to be, and that requires change. If we stayed the same forever, life would just be, it would lose its value. It would lose how special life truly is to be here and experience and feel and all of the above. So if you're also grieving, hang in there this week and know that you're not alone and God's got you. Okay? And thanks for being with me in a little bit more of a personal, emotional episode. Next week will probably be normal. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you felt seen, heard, loved in any way, I would absolutely love if you shared that with me. I really enjoy responding back to your comments and hearing your guys' stories and what season of life that you're in. And remember, it doesn't matter what season of life you're in, because you're becoming and you're not behind. And I'm right here with you, and I'm so proud of you. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.